And this next one, we got a heavyweight fight between Andrei Arlovski and Rogerio de Lima. And one interesting thing about this fight is both these guys do train at American Top Team. And I don't know if they trained together before or anything like that, but there's potential that these guys have sparred each other and know a little bit about each other's styles. It seems from social media that they're both still training at American Top Team for this fight as well. So I don't know how they're quite doing that with in terms of when one guy's showing up and when the other guy's showing up, or if they're seeing each other's training. I have no idea. But one thing, I mean, when I first saw this matchup, I was thinking, okay, Andrei Arlovski plus money. We got him against a guy in De Lima that we know is a gasser. He gets tired after the first round. And maybe it's a good spot for Arlovski to go in there and squeak another decision. But, man, I watched his last fight, that last fight with him versus Jay Collier, and that was rough, man. I mean, I felt like Andre looked horrible in that fight. I mean, I'm not trying to disparage him, but I did not think he had a good performance in that fight. He looks really slow. I thought it was one of his worst performances I've seen him have in a long time. And Marcos Pezao de Lima is coming off a loss as well, where same thing kind of happened to him. He went on a 2-fight win streak. He got that quick knockout over Ben Rothwell, and some people were jumping on the bandwagon, but then they gave him the 15th ranked guy, the worst guy in the rankings, with Blagoy Ivanov, and he, got tired after the first round and ended up losing the fight down the stretch, getting held against the cage in the clinch, getting hit with some counter punches, and it just continued to show that I don't think Pezao de Lima is ever going to get over that hump and, become a ranked guy. But is he going to be able to beat Andrei Arlovski? If that Andrei Arlovski that showed up the last time that Andrei Arlovski fought, I think he will be able to beat him. With Pezao de Lima, I mean, we got a guy that early on is real explosive and throws really heavy kicks, leg kicks, body kicks, and he tends to kind of, in my opinion, throw too many kicks and gas himself off the kicks that he throws. And he also has fast hands, though. He has good counter ability early. And basically what he likes to do is kick on the outside, and then when fighters close the distance on him, throw heat and try to throw real fast counter punches in combination and catch you and knock you out. So if you could feint, draw out those counters, and then go after Pezao goes, you can get him out of position and counter him. You can get him tired by making him miss and throwing a lot of explosive action that doesn't result in anything for him. And that's when he can start to go downhill. And Pezao, in his fights that he's been able to win by decision, most of the time it's fights where he's fighting guys that are really bad grapplers, and he's able to stall the fight out a lot by holding him against the cage or taking him down and laying on top of him and minimal damage on top. When he gets on top, De Lima is essentially just looking to control the fight and win on points. He's not really looking to get the finish or anything like that. Even against Maurice Green, he just held him down for 3 straight rounds and took that decision. One thing about De Lima, though, is he does tend to get tired, force the grappling, and then get submitted. That's happened to him quite a few times in the UFC. He's actually been submitted in all of his UFC losses, I believe, besides his last fight with Blagoy Ivanov. With Arlovski, I mean, I don't really think there's going to be a threat of a submission there. But Arlovski, I mean, what he's going to have to do in this fight is pretty obvious. He's going to have to stick and move, use a lot of feints, try to open Pezao up and then counter him, and try to get Pezao tired and, work your jab, straight shots, and just try to keep the distance. And once he gets tired, then you could pick it up and start to take over the fight. And I'm not saying that Arlovski can't do that, but just from his last fight, I thought he looked extremely slow. He was getting hit with a lot of hooks. And, man, I'm a little bit worried that Pezao might put him out here early, quick in this first round. And, Arlovski, he is someone that's, back in the day, it'd be a little bit blasphemy to say this almost, but he doesn't get knocked out very much. I mean, the guy's tough to finish. He only has gotten knocked out recently by some of the heaviest hitters in the weight class, like Jairzinho, like Francis Ngannou. We've seen him take bombs even back in the day from someone like AJ, get his jaw broken and be able to keep coming through, even though AJ is a light heavyweight. I mean, I don't care. That's still power, man. But, Arlovski, in his last fight, I thought he looked pretty bad. He was getting held against the cage, too. And I just feel like Pezao, even if he can't get the first round finish, I think that he'll still be able to clinch Arlovski up against the fence, land some counter hooks, and win another round here. So Arlovski maybe could get another, stinky split decision type of fight here, but I'm going to say Peizao actually wins by decision, which is a little bit of a strange result for Peizao. I think he could get the early knockout too, but like I said, it's pretty hard to knock out Andrei Arlovski as of late. And I'll say that Peizao maybe gets a drop in the first round or dominates the first round, and then second round wins it by holding Arlovski, gets a cage, kind of stalling the fight a little bit. And then the third round, maybe Arlovski comes back and wins that round. So I'll say a 29-28 type decision win for Marcos Rogerio de Lima.